Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time of the day it is that you're joining us here. This is the Tulsa World Scene podcast / Zoom meeting / Uncanny Film Festival and Camp meeting. I am here with my colleagues, the lovely and talented Jimmie Tramel and the lovelier and talented Grace Wood. Thank you all for joining us today. Know that you can snag this hot biscuit off the podcast sites such as Apple and Spotify if you wish. And we'll be talking about what's coming up in the way of arts and entertainment and home advice and all sorts of useless trivia for the coming weekend. Speaking of useless trivia for the weekend, it is the weekend of Mayfest. And if one believes our weather prognosticators, it will not rain. This may be a first for Mayfest. I can't remember a Mayfest where they didn't have at least one. There was somewhere they were nearly blown away by tornadoes a few years ago. Because when they were located downtown and the wind comes sweeping down the plain, Jimmie, you will know too well that walking up Main Street's like walking in a wind tunnel. So anyway, well, we wish them the best. This year it's at the in the Tulsa Arts District again. They have some new things such as it's called the Gallery at Mayfest. It's a revision of the old Invitational Gallery that features all local artists, and they're also featuring a lot of local artists on the music stages, including I believe it's Friday night. That is they're focusing on primarily local female acts, and that caps off with MaKenzie Thomas, who is on The Voice. And Jimmie, you had something about a songwriting thing at Mayfest, if I remember correctly, a songwriting showcase.
Yeah, I believe the Red Dirt Relief Fund is partnering with Mayfest on kind of a songwriters roundtable situation that will occur. And you can check our schedule on TulsaWorld.com to see when it is exactly. You've had nothing to do this week with Mayfest and Bob Dylan Center getting ready to open and Gilcrease and everything else. It's like, nothing's going on for you.
It's just another Wednesday. There has been a lot of stuff going on, I must say. Mayfest and the Bob Dylan Center will open. As we record this, I just got back from a tour of the inside, about which I cannot say anything for another 23 hours and 13 minutes, not that I'm counting.
What if we tell everyone listening to cover their ears, and then you go ahead and say it right now?
Let me just say, it's very interactive. It is, if you are, I will say this, if they designed it to appeal to what they determined are three types of Bob Dylan aficionados. There are the skimmers, the people who know him for maybe one or two songs, or, oh yeah, he wrote all the hits that the Byrds made famous, like Mr. Tambourine Man and the like. Then there are what they call the swimmers, which are people that know a little bit and are really wanting to get a little more. And then they have the divers, the ones that are going to want to read every scrap of paper and look at every photograph. And there is a whole lot of stuff to look at, to watch, to listen to. I mean, it's an impressive thing. As far as state of the artistry, if you're familiar with the Woody Guthrie Center, bump it up a little bit. And that's the Bob Dylan Center. It's really going to be an impressive showpiece, and Tulsa is very lucky to have it. And it will officially open to the public on May 10th. And we will have the story about our tour of it that will hopefully condense everything that's going on in there into one story. Should be running this Sunday, the 8th of May.
Grace, remember this moment, because if James said too much, this may be the last time we see him. He may be wiped off the face of the earth if he said too many secrets there.
Oh my goodness.
I have revealed no secret.
Okay.
But I do need to say that we've just been issued a tornado watch, so we may need to wrap this up real quickly. One thing about Mayfest is that you don't need coupons to buy food anymore. You can actually pay cash. And if you have a whole lot of cash, I think Grace has something that she might be able to tempt you with to buy.
Yeah, a whole lot of cash. My story for this week is about the Patterson Estate, which is a 7-acre property located on the southeast corner of 31st and Peoria, right by Brookside. And it's for sale now for the first time since 1968 for $15 million, which makes it the most expensive home in all of Oklahoma right now. It's almost 100 years old, and the home itself is about 10,000 square feet, which includes a guest house and a tennis court, and it's all hidden kind of behind a ton of trees, so you can't really see it from the outside looking in. I think a lot of people, myself included, really had no idea what the home even looked like before the listing came up on websites like Zillow, because you can really barely see it through the tree cover. So it's really a once in a lifetime opportunity to own this much land, especially like in the heart of Midtown. So it'll be really interesting to see who buys it and what they decide to do with it.
Were you able to get inside to see it? I mean,
no, I did not get inside to see it, but I did look at all the pictures and they're quite stunning. It's really like a time capsule of, I guess, like what the 1920s looked like in Tulsa. It was built originally for an oil magnate, so it's very ornate. There's a lot of spaces you can tell for like throwing, elaborate parties and things like that. So it's a really beautiful home, and we'll have a bunch of pictures of it this Saturday in Tulsa World.
15 million. I want a big cave underneath where I can park my Batmobile if it's going to be 15 million.
Exactly.
It needs to have a bat cave.
I was about to say, you might be able to sell a couple of your favorite comic books. You might be able to, swing that,
A little above my pay grade.
We can all go in on it together.
There you go.
There we go. There we go. Pool all those IRA funds and the like. So, but you said it was built in the 1920s. I'm hoping that it doesn't have like 1920s wiring and plumbing.
It's hard because it's only had 2 owners, and the second owners took it over in 1968 and then sold it in 2018, or put it on the market in 2018, and then it went off the market and now it's back on the market. So I feel like, between that time, they probably did some necessary renovations and updates and things like that. At least I hope. But
if they're going to sell it, they probably would have to. But
yeah.
All right. Well, we'll go from the most expensive house on the market to some of the most cheaply made films, I guess. The wonderful world of B movies, and you have, Jimmie, an interview with the King B himself, I think.
Well, Jesse Vint is going in the Oklahoma Movie Hall of Fame this weekend at the Roxy in Muskogee, and that gave me an excuse to talk to Jesse Vint. And he's one of those guys who literally has 1,000 stories. I could have talked to him for 2 days straight, and we gave it a shot. But just so many great stories from his acting career. This is a guy who flunked out of Central, or got kicked out of Central, got kicked out of Edison, went to Oklahoma Military Academy, flunked speech 3 times at OU. And I need a purpose in life. His purpose in life was acting, best known for Macon County Line with his brother, with Jethro Bodine, Max Baer as the bad guy in the 70s, but literally has a jillion credits, and we'll share some of his stories, not all of his stories, in a Friday Tulsa World story.
Okay. All right. Well, as we say, we'll have a look at the Bob Dylan Center. We'll also want to remind people that on May 12th, Tulsa Ballet will open its signature series, which will be held at the Lorton Performance Center at TU. And they are bringing back a piece that was created for them by Andy Blankenbuehler, who was the Tony Award-winning choreographer of Hamilton. And I have something to say about that. That was his first work for a ballet company ever. And he did it with Tulsa Ballet. It's called Remember Our Song. And it is inspired by World War II. And it's basically, it is about a fellow who is assigned to a submarine crew, and during a moment of crisis has this flashback or this out of body moment where he remembers the girl he left behind. It's really a lovely, touching and dramatic ballet. If you are not a fan of ballet, this would be a show to go see, to see what can be done with dance to tell a story. There's also, and I don't have the title in my head, but there's a new piece by a Cuban choreographer that is designed. It is a comic piece. It's supposed to be very knockabout, laugh out loud funny. So that'll run 4 days, the 12th through the 15th, again at the Lorton Performance Center on the TU campus. If you go to the PAC to see the ballet, you will be terribly disappointed. We mentioned that Gilcrease had a groundbreaking for their new yet to be built museum that's going to take at least 2 to 3 years to do. They're expecting to start construction later this year. So we'll have something about that, I believe, in Wednesday's Tulsa World. Since it is Mayfest week, we'll close out with a question. Do you all regularly attend Mayfest? And if you do, what do you seek out? Grace is grinning like, I've never been to Mayfest.
No, stop. I have been to Mayfest. I just haven't gone for the past 4 years because I've been in college and usually I'm home for it. But I do have fond memories of Mayfest when I was in high school, going with my friends, because we would always get henna tattoos. And that's one of the, core memories that sticks out to me. But I'm really excited to go this year and enjoy all the music and stuff. I think I'm going Friday night to watch the bands play. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, good. Do you have a go-to fair food item that you need to have for the experience to be complete?
Gotta have a funnel cake. It's just one of those things. If I see it, I just can't pass it up.
How about you, Jimmie?
If memory serves right, Eddie Money played at Mayfest one year. So
yes, he did.
If my memory is correct, that's going to be my all-time favorite Mayfest memory, because Eddie Money is one of my guys. I love Eddie Money. I'm not even unbiased about it at all. Obviously, we went all the time when it was right outside our door at the Tulsa World office. You go outside, you get a corn dog from lunch, you're good to go. So, yeah, should be cool. And I need to throw in too before we end that I've got a Will Rogers related story Sunday.
Okay.
In that 70 years ago, Will Rogers Jr. played his dad in the Will Rogers story. The world premiere was in Claremore. Okay, Sunday they're going to need a new Will Rogers because a new Will Rogers movie is being made that came from a Jim Stovall book, Will to Win. So you can read about that Sunday.
Okay, well that is a good way to end. It's always good to end with Will Rogers. I remember his in the old museum, they used to have these little audio snippets that you could listen to, and one of them was him talking about Mother's Day, which is coming up on Sunday the 8th, where he said that it was obviously created out of a guilty conscience. You haven't thought about mom in a while, so we'll give mom a day, and in return she'll give us the other 364. So we want to express our gratitude and appreciation to our mothers in particular and mothers everywhere as we close out this edition of whatever it is we call this thing. Thank you all for being with us. Read all about what we are talking about in the Tulsa World, available at fine news sellers everywhere and online at tulsaworld.com. Until then, good night, have a pleasant tomorrow, and bless you, Agent Cooper, wherever you may be.
Behave.
Bye.